Joining us in studio is Jason Starr, our producer, who has lived quite a little while in Wisconsin. And this is a horrible story. It's an officer-involved shooting involving an African-American. Stein, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, this happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And if you don't know where that is, Kenosha is on the southeast corner of the state, situated between Milwaukee and Chicago.
So I know about it from the Kenosha Kickers. Remember that from Home Alone? John Candy, have you played for that polka group, the Kenosha Kickers?
Oh, yeah.
That was Uncle Buck, I believe.
No, he's right.
Home Alone.
He's right.
Home Alone 1.
I have to defend JD on this one. Remember when John Candy went in the van and took the mother and gave the mother a ride back home because she couldn't get a plane ride to see little Macaulay Culkin? Yeah. It's so weird, by the way, seeing Macaulay Culkin now as an adult. It's just really bizarre. I just want to pull his ears. Anyway, Stein, go ahead. I'm sorry. This is a very serious story. I don't want to talk about Home Alone.
So anyway, Kenosha is about 30 minutes south of Milwaukee and in the southeast corner of the state. And so what happened Sunday night was that there was some sort of fight or melee that broke out in a neighborhood there, and several officers showed up, and someone recorded video. So there's actual video of this. It shows a man, we now know his name is Jacob Blake, and witnesses, family, friends say he was trying to break up a fight between a couple of women, and where the video picks up is he's walking away from officers, apparently ignoring their commands. They fire a taser at him. It apparently does nothing. He keeps walking a short distance and attempts to get into a vehicle. It's at that point that one of the officers, a white officer, grabs him by the T-shirt, pulls his T-shirt, and shoots him 7 times in the back. Now, to add a little bit of extra tragedy to this, I suppose, the man, Jacob Blake, his 3 sons were in the back seat of that vehicle. Now,
any weapon? Did this guy pose any serious threat to police?
We don't know if there was a weapon in the vehicle. It's very possible he could have been reaching for a gun. The police have not said very much at all beyond this is an officer-involved shooting, and the State Department of Justice is taking over the investigation.
Can I just say something? Okay, that is a sign of guilt, in my personal opinion. When police don't immediately come forward and defend their officers, when they don't give specifics, even when you look at the Michael Brown situation, right, in Ferguson, they released the video. They were all over it with forensics and autopsies, and they put out all this information. Silence, to me, is bad.
Well, it's been several hours and still no official, I would say there's been a statement, but there hasn't been
video.
There hasn't been,
from what I understand,
there hasn't been detail.
The body cams were not even turned on.
Right, and so
neither of their body cams were turned on,
which is absurd.
Which is a really big issue.
The video that is circulating, has been was taken by a guy across the street, and so 7 shots were fired at this guy, all of them apparently in his back, his children in the back seat. Now, the good news is none of those kids were hurt, and I guess some further good news
he's not dead.
Is that the man is in serious condition at last check. He has not died.
First of all, number one, what if one of those kids was shot, number one? Number two, are we still talking about body cameras in 2020? What is the justification that these police officers did not have their body cameras on? It should be mandatory. I talk about it all the time. If they didn't do anything wrong and those damn body cameras were turned on, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. Put your damn body cameras on. I get so angry and frustrated. What is their excuse for not having their body cameras on? And the only thing that I could come up with is they're trying to hide something.
Yeah, I mean, so it's hard not to think that, but hopefully he doesn't die, first of all. Hopefully the police officer who shot him 7 times, even if he was reaching for a gun, you can't just shoot someone 7 times.
It was at point blank range.
In the back, right?
All in the back.
Yeah, and I watched the video. And from what I understand, he did have a warrant out for his arrest and this and that and that and this, but that doesn't mean you can shoot him in the back 7 times. So hopefully the family files a major lawsuit because the kids are going to have trauma from watching it take place. Hopefully he doesn't die.
This reminds me a little bit.
Hopefully the police officer, the one that shot him, not the one that shot him, hopefully he gets fired, but also that he does some time. Because I think that's what has to happen.
JD, to your point about a lawsuit, this morning we did find out that the family has hired Benjamin Crump,
of course,
Benjamin Crumbs, as we call him, the man a very high-profile attorney who's taken on some of these big cases.
Well, I think he's a buffoon. But let me just go back.
This is very akin to the Philando Castile.
I was just going to bring that up for a lot of different reasons. But number one, we need more details. But remember, Castillo's daughter was sitting in the back seat when her dad died.
Yeah.
Right? Do you remember that? It reminds me a little bit.
I know the girlfriend was in the front seat.
The girlfriend's son. Yeah, the girlfriend's son. It reminds me a little bit of that. what JD said, these kids that are in the back seat that will be traumatized for the rest of their life. Listen, we don't have all the specifics on this, and I know we got to go to break. We don't have all the specifics on this. I totally understand. But with that being said, you can form an opinion early. This looks really bad.
Right. And it did, I just want to mention real quick also, it did touch off, the shooting touched off riots last night. There were some fires, there was some damage to a courthouse and some businesses. And if you go on TMZ brand new this morning also, there's a really horrific video of one of these rioters throwing a brick at an officer.
Oh, boy. Well, obviously nobody condones that. That's terrible.